How did we survive during the downturn? Corporately, we didn't have any debt, so we had no pressure on our balance sheet. We were increasing our production, so our revenue was going up despite a falling metal prices, and exercised a lot of discipline. I believe in the downturn, there was a greater sensitivity to geopolitical risk, whether it's terrorists moving through part of Africa or governments that are more capricious, taking more of the profit away. But today, the markets, there's something happening that's fundamentally changing the markets, and that is more investors are going to indexed funds and exchange-traded funds. And that is going to have a big impact on the access to capital down the road. And if you're not in indices, I think it's going to be harder for companies to raise capital. The landscape in the US, as opposed to Argentina or other parts in the world, is very rule-driven. It's becoming more bureaucratic. You would think in a land where they're trying to build employment, they'd want to encourage development, but there seems to be a very strong environmental bias and thinking mining is rapacious and shouldn't be occurring. Is the gold price going higher? Absolutely. There's enough problems out there to make people anxious. Geopolitically, the news is full of whether it's terrorist strikes or countries pushing against each other, whether it be in the Ukraine or in the China Sea or elsewhere. And historically, when you see those types of uncertainties coming into the market, people start looking at hard assets. But I do think gold's going higher. 2,000 is an easy shot. I'm beyond that. I'm up at 5,000. Our goal is to get into the S&P 500. And the S&P 500 holds out particular appeal to me because I believe it gives us a competitive advantage. It gives McEwen a competitive advantage. Right now, 99.9% of all the precious metal companies in the world cannot get listed in the S&P 500. And that's because they're not American corporations. McEwen Mining is a Colorado incorporated company. When you're in the S&P 500, you get a more stable shareholder base, you have a lower cost of capital, and if portfolio weightings in gold move back to where they've been in the past of up to 5%, then you're going to have a huge flow of money going in there, and that's where our competitive advantage comes from.